Appreciate everybody being here. I know this has been a full last few weeks, couple months here for Malaki in a decision that he's put a lot of thought and prayer into. So I'll turn it over to him and let him share his thoughts.
Appreciate y'all for coming out. This season has been nothing but short of amazing for me. After the season, just testing the waters. Talked to Coach Holtmann and my family about it. Sorry, my bad. Just talking to Coach Holtmann and my family about it. Testing the waters was the best thing for me. Just getting the feedback on what I need to do, and what I need to become an NBA player. Kind of with that being said, I'm thinking about hiring an agent and officially put my name in the NBA draft. I didn't know what to expect this season. Coming in as a freshman, I didn't know how many minutes I was going to play, but just putting in the work, and just throughout the season, as we started playing games, my confidence grew, and at the end of the season, I kind of it was a possibility of me being a one-and-done player. I want to give a special thanks to Coach Holtmann for believing in me, trusting me, to my abilities, put me in the last couple minutes of a college game. As a freshman, is big trust right there, and I appreciate him for doing that. I want to give a special thanks also about the freshman wall. I don't think it was a freshman wall, right?
We talked about that freshman wall. I said he's not allowed to hit the freshman wall.
Yeah.
He did.
I want to give a special thanks to all the coaching staff, Coach Diebler, Coach Skin, Coach Peden, Coach Q, TD, everybody. We spent countless hours in the gym, countless hours in the weight room. I just want to give a special thanks to them for pushing me to my limit. I want to give a special thanks to my teammates. For pushing me every day. Me coming in as a freshman, having 4 or 5 year guys, having a leadership like that, helped me throughout the season. And I want to give a special thanks to my family for sacrificing everything that they did for me. Got my uncle, my mom, grandma, they all right there. And I just want to say thank you. Can't thank y'all enough. So thank y'all.
So you're staying in the draft?
Yeah, I'm staying in the draft.
He stayed in the draft. Yeah, he's staying in the draft. We'll open up for questions here in a minute, but this is obviously a big day for Malaki and his family, and it'll even be a bigger day on June 23rd. And really, it's a great day for, most importantly, for his family. It's a great day for our program. It'll be a great day for Ohio State when he hears his name called. And we've had tremendous conversations with NBA personnel in the last couple months, but particularly since he initially put his name in, the feedback has been really increasingly positive by the weeks. And I think having all that information at hand for Malaki and for us as a coaching staff to help guide him, I know he felt like this was the best decision. So I'm really excited for what he is now. And most importantly, I know we as a coaching staff are really excited for what he can be as an NBA player. And it's been a remarkable journey really in the last year. And I don't think any of us, myself included, Malaki, his family, anticipated that it would come this quick. But this is a great day for he and his family, a great day for our program. We look forward to these next couple months with him.
Start with that. Malaki, congrats. When did this start to become a reality for you? When did you think, now I'm sure you come into the season with expectations, but when did you realize that this was a realistic, possible next step?
Really, it was kind of the end of the year. After I really wasn't paying attention to it because I don't want to get big-headed. We're just trying to win games. But after the season, it was a possibility. Me just going through the draft process and stuff like that.
And what kind of feedback did you start to receive once you put your name in and started to get a more engaged? What was the feedback you got that told you this was the right decision?
Really, just being a first-round pick. I felt like that was the biggest feedback I kind of needed. And like Coach Holtmann said, just increasing by the weeks has been positive. So that's why I decided to, stay in the draft.
Hey, Malaki, I'm curious about, at what point did you feel like, you talked about the game slowing down for you over the course of the year, especially I remember that Indiana game, and I'm curious, at what point did everything did you become comfortable? I don't know, that you were like, okay, this game is slowed down, I've kind of done what I needed to do here.
Yeah, like you said, the Indiana game was probably the biggest game for me, just slowing down, making the right reads, how they was playing me, and just making the right passes to my teammates so they can get a bucket like EJ did in the last couple seconds of the game. So.
And Chris, you were joking about that freshman mold, but I'm curious about, at what point did that reality hit you? You were like, yeah, this kid's not going to have a freshman mold.
Yeah, no, I would point to the Indiana. There were a number of different moments. Keep in mind now, and Malaki remembers, he didn't score against Wisconsin the first time we played him. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that was a really frustrating moment for him. And Malaki texted me after our game early in the season where he didn't play particularly well, and he sent me a really long text. I got it probably 7 in the morning, probably after one of your workouts.
It was after my workout. Yeah.
And he texted me and said, "Hey, Coach, I just want to thank you." It was a really long text, but he just said, "I just want to thank you for you promised in recruiting me that you would allow me to play through mistakes, and I made a lot of them last night, and I just want to thank you for letting me play through them." And we felt like ultimately that could pay dividends. But after the Indiana game, I texted a few close friends, and I texted my boss, Gene Smith, and said, "We need to plan on Malaki not being here next year."
Chris, I'm wondering, just how good is this really for your program? It's bittersweet when you lose a player as good as Malaki, but he's from Ohio. He was Mr. Basketball. I think Malaki, you check a lot of boxes. Congrats to you, but how do you view that and what this can do for Ohio State hoops?
Well, it's great, because you're aware of things that obviously have been said about you when you take over a program. One is, well, we haven't had a first rounder yet, or whatever the case may be. I think I'm really happy, Timmy, for he and his family, because he's the kind of kid he's like EJ and so many of our kids. They're really easy. When I get a call from an NBA executive asking about who he is as a person, how long you got? I'll talk as long as you want to talk. And I obviously have felt the same way about EJ and so many of our other guys. So it really is, when I think there is an element of, it was more for me during the season when we saw his progression that you're beginning to talk as a coaching staff about some plans, some alternate plans. We anticipated him being certainly a high-level player for us as a sophomore, so you have to, change plans, change course a little bit. But more than anything, this will be a great moment. It's a great moment now. It'll be a great moment for our program when his name's called.
Malaki, the feedback must have been very clear-cut for you, that there wasn't a gray area here of a first-rounder, bona fide.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the case? It was clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Just having that feedback right there, and just being a first rounder. And I know I'm going to go up, once I start these workouts and stuff like that. And just keep working. That's really the thing for me. And I just let my game do the talking.
What did you envision your timeline, maybe coming out of high school? How did you envision your college career going in an ideal situation? Did you come in expecting to play for 4 years, or did you come in thinking if I have a really good season, I might be NBA caliber right away?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about 4 years at all.
It's good to know.
Yeah, like you said, if I had a good season, it's possible for being a one-and-done player. So, yeah.
Chris, kind of to that point, when you're going through a recruiting process with any kid, you kind of map out a timeline of what may be realistic, whether it's 1, 2, 3 years. When you guys are talking to him,
Yeah.
what's the message there? And then at what point this season did you realize, yeah, that plan's not a thing anymore?
Yeah, we knew it was going to come. Some of it, he was not on any, and Malachi knows this. His great trainer back there, JD, knows it. His family knows it. He was not on any draft boards coming into the season. He was nowhere on any draft boards. He wasn't in the top 80 in a lot of those. Sorry.
That's good.
But what I think people saw is how good he really is. And I always felt like he was undervalued as a player, to be honest with you. I think he is an elite player. And what people have seen is his age combined with his length and his really special touch. When you combine his physical tools with who he is as a person and as a player, I think you have a really, really special NBA player. I'm 100% convinced of that. He's just scratching the surface on the kind of player he's going to be. But I think people point to the Nebraska game as being important, but I think it was more the consistency we saw in January and February that I think really changed the mind for a lot of NBA personnel. That's what we heard. It was the consistency over, he averaged 17 points after January 1 as a freshman, in one of the best leagues in the country. And I think teams looked at that and said, that's extremely impressive. You combine that with his age, and there's a reason why his name continues to really climb, honestly, on draft boards.
He said he wasn't thinking about 4 years. How long were you thinking?
No, I wasn't thinking about 4 years either. I mean, I wasn't. I did think that maybe it would be, a 2-year process or 3-year process, but this is a blessing for him and his family. It really is, and that's the way I look at it.
Malachi, from that feedback you've gotten, what are things that you've heard that you can continue to improve on, and what are things that teams like, and maybe Chris, from people you've talked to, what has been kind of the feedback you've gotten?
So I really haven't talked to like NBA like GMs and stuff like that. My agent has. Really haven't had a lot of conversation with them. He hasn't told me it. He just said it was good feedback. Just being in the first round and just keep climbing. So haven't heard none of the stuff I need to work on, but me and my trainer Jason, we just gonna work hard every day and just get better. So.
Coach said you're barely scratching the surface of what you're going to be like as an NBA player. What do you see yourself being like as an NBA player at the next level?
Just being a guy that can go there and get a bucket and also lead the team to do whatever they need to do. And like I'm saying, just be myself for real. Just having fun. I love the game, so just working out and just becoming the best player I can be.
Is it hard to fathom that this all just happened in the span of 1 year and a couple of months? And what do you think that you learned from this past year that you're going to take to that next level?
It definitely happened pretty quick, especially the second half of the season. It kind of came quick, and I learned a lot just being patient, waiting my turn, and kind of just working towards my dream and just taking one day at a time.
Malachi, you're an Ohio kid, like somebody said, Mr. Basketball in the state. A lot of things tied to Ohio. Like, how important was it for you not only to go 1 year and done, but to do it at Ohio State?
It's definitely good. Just being an Ohio kid, and like you said, being a one and done, has been a one and done since D'Angelo Russell, right? Yeah. So just seeing that is, it's definitely a big accomplishment for me. So.
And then Chris, you talked about it's a big day for the program as well. To not only have Malachi, but to also have EJ, to have two guys that contributed a lot during their time here, but their ultimate legacy might be what happens after them. What does that mean for you guys moving forward? Two guys.
Yeah, it's certainly an important moment for us, to have a couple guys drafted this year, and there's no question it's important. I think it's something that we want to see on a consistent basis, and we hope that this is the beginning of that. Obviously, we've had some guys going into next year, we'll have 5 players in 5 years on NBA rosters. So we've had that. Some of it's been a different path from undrafted, K to drafted, now these 2 drafted. So I think as much as anything, we want to continue to add to that number of 5 guys, and that's important to us. We get into this business as a coaching staff to help players reach their dreams and fulfill their dreams and their potential as players. That's why we get into this. We certainly love competing for what we're competing, but that is a goal of ours. It will always be a goal. And to see a young man who has a real chance to reach his dream and fulfill his potential as a player is really, really important for us. So, and a couple of you have asked about some of the NBA conversations. So that really is handled by Malachi's agent. We've had a lot of really healthy conversations with NBA executives, whether it's a general manager or someone in their scouting department. And, the consensus has been very positive. They certainly give us a range of what that's going to be, and it's been pretty consistent, but it's all been well within the first round. Trust me, it's been that has been a consensus, and I think obviously that factored into Malachi's decision as much as anything. Is there've been really positive conversations. He'll have to do workouts here in the coming weeks to continue to solidify his status and go through the NBA Combine. But I think the feedback we've gotten in the last month has been so positive about what they see, the way they view him, that I think it did press him into kind of making a decision here quickly.
Oh yeah, just a quick thing. I just want to say thank the fans. I want to thank the fans for just supporting us through the season. And once a Buckeye, always a Buckeye. So.
Yeah, this was something we wanted to do for obviously Malaki, and 1 year goes by pretty quickly, and we appreciate all the fans who've supported him, and we'll continue to support him in the next step in his career. So thanks everybody for coming out.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, I'm gonna grab Malaki if we want to do a one-off on it here on the side. Coach Holtmann.